spiritual, emotional, and not just our physical well-being. Okay? I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so first of all, we have this ministry, and our idea is not to indoctrinate anybody. It's not to put ideas in your mind. The idea is this: how can you discover these things for yourself? You don't have to believe in anything that I'm saying, okay? But if you do the certain things that we're doing and have your own realizations, then that is the foundation of our spiritual life. We can read about things all day long, but there's a space of convincing somebody about something, and there's a place of all agreement when we have our own experience about stuff. Like let's say if you looked at the sky, and everybody can agree that it is blue. I don't have to tell you that it is blue. We're just going to agree on it, right? Okay. And the other aspect is that we have noticed that spirituality, nutrition, and our life in connection with nature seems to be, separate nowadays. And since when that is the case? So that's just a little bit of a question to put in your head to see if you can think about that yourself and what you can come up with. All right. So our ministry focuses on three different or main spheres, and they're all related, and you'll see why. But the first is a connection to our own self, our chosen divine children. The other one are the raw foods, divine creation that is ready, available for us, and how we interact with that. Okay, and nature and growing our own foods. And in the middle of all those three is our little angel being. Okay. So, one of the first things that we try to, come with, and I was sharing a little bit earlier when we first started talking, is that within our own mind, we have this polarized mechanism. That's how our mind works. You can study Christianity, you can study Buddhism, you can study Hinduism. It will tell you that our mind is pretty much binary. Okay, and we see things as good or bad, as tall and short, and also we say yay or nay. There's a little guy over here that has already an idea. There's a pre-existing idea that will give you yes, I like it, or no, I don't like it. And you can see it, in yourselves. Take a walk around the booths, around in this little space, and you're gonna walk around and you're gonna say, without knowing what's going on over there, you're gonna say yes, and you get attracted to it, or nay, and you pass by. Okay? So we already have these ideas in our own mind, and that's why we don't indoctrinate people, and we give them the tools to have their own experience. Okay? So when it comes to education, advertising, marketing, all those are great. They're great tools. We can talk about veganism here all day. But because of that mechanism we have in our mind, that is limited. Because if we do not agree mentally and emotionally with what we're being presented with, what's going to happen? I'm going to give the EA, I'm going to keep on going. Okay? And if I want to be a meat eater, because that's what I have in my own mind, what's going to happen? I'm going to go around and find either a doctor or a study or some friends or a very, good-looking, trainer to tell me that is the way, and they have all the data to back it up. Okay? And that's how we do it. Then we go, yay, and then we pass all the vegans and we say, yay. Okay? That's that simple. That's how the mind works. Okay? So within that limitation, there's something else that comes into very strong play. And is all the emotional baggage that we carry with ourselves. The one that controls the yay or nay inside our mind of the things that are self-destructive to us or not, and we consider that they're okay for us to take in, is the baggage of the things that we have done that we may not feel very happy about. Okay, the things that we feel shame, the things that we feel sorry, the things that were not that nice. Okay, and all of a sudden, the self-destructive behavior begins, and our feelings of either unworthiness or either feeling that, you know what, maybe that's not good for me. I don't want it right now. Okay? self-punishment. Then all of a sudden, instead of going for a green juice, we go for a nice burrito with fries. It's that simple. We know the foundation of that emotional eating. And that's why we focus and we give people tools to work on that first. We don't even touch the subject of food until we don't work on that. Because when people have that baggage inside, they're gonna go for those different choices. And we can educate for as long as you want. I have met hundreds of people, intelligent people, okay? From doctors and nutritionists to personal trainers to Olympic athletes, all right? And you tell them, you should be eating X, Y, and Z. And they're like, yes, I know. But not today. And then, but that becomes not today, not tomorrow, not the day after, and so on, so on, so on. And that becomes a habit, that becomes a routine, that becomes a pattern. And when we have a whole group of people doing that, becomes what? Cultural. And that becomes, part of our society. Okay? But the foundation is that simple. We just need to go and connect with ourselves and say, why I'm not feeling so good today, why I'm sad about it. And instead of reaching out for something that is gonna bring that down, we can actually reach out for something a little bit better for ourselves. So that choice, that yay and yay, all of a sudden changes rapidly. So we don't have to push it. Okay? So talking about something to some people, you see that they don't want to even hear about it anymore after a while. They're like, get on my face, stop pushing me. Okay? It becomes daunting. Then actually we repel them instead of being inviting. Okay? So that invitation has to happen from within when they have that transformation internally. So we start with that part, connecting to ourselves and to be able to get those tools that can transform that baggage. So, emotional eating and the typical pitfalls. Okay, these educated people, they know they should be eating better, that they shouldn't not even just eating better. Let's take it to like alcohol or tobacco and cigarettes. How many people have you known in life that they drink alcohol or they smoke cigarettes that they know that they shouldn't be doing it, but they still do it? Okay? So, what's happening is we're not addressing what they're sad, or maybe what's making them depressed, or what is some kind of trauma they still have. And of course, you're going to continue with all that and that emotional baggage. And then, of course, we ask them why you're not doing it. They're going to tell you, well, you know what? I want to change my diet, but it's Thanksgiving. And, I can't skip Thanksgiving, It's so, come on. Or, it's a birthday party. Or, it's my Sunday gathering with my friends. Or something like that. Grandma makes great lasagna. I come from Italian background. And, that's kind of stuff. Social pressure, a lot of people have been in high school and all that kind of stuff. And that is very obvious, but when we grow up, that continues, that doesn't stop. Okay? Finances, I can afford organic. I'm like, the car that you're driving is quite expensive. If you will just drive maybe a little bit less of an expensive car, maybe you could afford your organic food. Instead of putting glyphosate that is causing ulcers in your body. Right? So, but we don't want to address that. We'd rather, drive a brand new car and eat glyphosate. I've seen people driving a brand new $50,000 car and buying, $1 can of beans and complaining it's too expensive. Or I don't have time because I'm working too much. Okay? So we don't address the workaholism. We address the diet. We have this, excuse myself for it. So until we don't really dig deep inside, we're not going to change regardless of all that. Okay? So what are the spiritual tools that we have? Okay, we can meditate. We have different techniques. We can help people actually tap into that place that it hurts. And we don't want people to see either others or ourselves. And when we go to sleep, we wish that they were gone. But then we look ourselves in the mirror, they're there still. And then, when we go to sleep, we get a little break, but the next morning they're still there. Okay? So how to create a good, safe space for us to tap into that? That's what we do. By the way, those little guys over there in the corner, they're water molecules. Sometimes I talk about that when I have more time, but just to give you a little preview, when we're born, we're about 85% water, and the average person, when they die, they're about 65% water. We lose water as we go, and that's due to emotional eating and diet, because all cooked food is dehydrating. Besides being acidic, which makes us be more thirsty, yada yada. It's another topic. I could spend the whole day talking about that. But when we change, not the conscious thoughts, but the subconscious thoughts, because all those emotional baggages and traumas and yada yada, they're on the back of the mind all the time. There's a guy that back in the 90s was called Dr. Emoto, and he started taking pictures of the water molecules and how they change shape as the water was presented with different thoughts. Okay? So if you change your thoughts, not just the conscious ones, but the subconscious ones, then all of a sudden, on the molecular level, you're going to be changing as well. Okay? You're going to be looking more like that instead of like a blob. And that's what the negative thoughts look like. Okay? So now, we talked about all those emotional baggages and things that makes us have those choices, regardless of the education or why not. And then, like how this, what happens on that moment? When we release those things, have you seen people that once they're happy, and when they have done all that, right away they just came to us, and they were like, I want it better, what can I do? I'm not educated on the subject, I've never done it, I'm new to this, what can I do? Okay, so automatically, I have never had to push any one single person to eat better. I never say, hey, you should eat differently. We start on that spectrum and they come on their own. Okay? Everybody will come on their own. So, as the destructive behaviors go, the tobacco, the alcohol, they're very obvious.
There's not another one.
But also the food choices.
There's not. It's
okay?
not good.
And the food combining will go. The ABC of food is beyond being vegan and all this. It's food combining. Okay? Yes, raw food is optimum, and I will talk about that. But food combining is what allows you to digest food and to eliminate it properly without feeding parasites, candida, bacterial overgrowth, etc., etc. Okay? And those, if you go to any scientific website, they're going to tell the side effects of parasites and candida are like depression, anxiety, so far so on. Okay? So they do have an impact in our mind, an impact in our emotions. And by eating that way, we're continuing the cycle. Okay? So, no need to. Happens automatically. Okay? So, after that, when people say, raise their hands and say, hey, I want better, okay? I'm not mad at my mommy and my daddy anymore. Primarily, that's what happens, okay? Then, what do we do? We start a little bit of a transition, okay? What are transition foods? Are good combined fruits and vegetables in a certain way that will allow full nutrition and full, what? Digestion and elimination. That's simple, okay? We make some tasty foods, some are cooked, some are raw. But the idea is bring those flavors that we're used to a place that they don't feed those negative things anymore. That's it. That should be the first step. Okay, so I don't feel like, killing myself anymore. But now what do? I still have this conditioning from so many years of eating a certain way. I still have the memory of my palate. I have the memory of what my body wants and what it needs. So it's that simple. We create something that allows this transition. Right? So there's a lot to this part. For many years I studied Ayurvedas and other traditions that speak about food. Okay, here we have taken it a little in a different approach because within Ayurvedas or other traditions, you have different understandings about cooked food and raw food. I have many conversations about Ayurvedic doctors that say, hey, but you're eating raw foods and we don't agree with raw foods. They say calories, the word caloric is from the word calor, which means heat, or means energy. Okay, so when you have a cucumber, it's cooling and it will, not have no caloric content to it. But when you have a banana, you will have the calories that you need and you will have the energy that you need. Okay, and that will not cool your system down. So those are other conversations. Okay, but we make yummy food. Sometimes we have events. Sometimes we invite people to our place. Mike is gonna have an event at our farm in Naples, and we share this transition menu with people. Okay. And after that, we share also about a lifestyle. How do you sustain this lifestyle? And what it will happen to our mind and to our emotions, little by little, as we are able to sustain something. We have an idea of things, but there's a difference between tapping into something for a minute and to sustaining something for a minute. Imagine your own thoughts. Okay, how long can you sustain a happy thought in your mind or an attention into something, and for how long can you actually do something? It's very different. Okay, to have a point in the moment and to have a extended into it. Okay, so when we want to extend and create a new habit, it's different. Okay, and we'll go into different aspects, and that's why I have like a little juices here and little salads and other things, because at that moment we need to address the detoxification aspect of the body, and the body has its own way of doing it. We cannot force it. Some people come to me and say, Emanuel, I have an issue. Like what? Oh, my lungs hurt.
Francis is having juice.
Or my elbow hurts. Or whatever problem they might have. Now the body has, the same that our planet has seasons. You have to go through winter before getting into spring. You cannot get into certain aspects of the body without going first through others. It's impossible. You can take all the medications, you can take all the herbs, it will be difficult. But when we allow the body to do its thing, I'll give you a tip. We have certain exit routes. Okay? If we don't open the exit routes for the toxins and all those accumulated foods that are undigested in our system for them to leave, then how are we going to detox? We're just going to be taking them out of our organs and recirculating in our system. Okay? It's like coming for a plumber that our pipes are plugged up, but then, not flushing the toilet. It's going to recirculate. Okay? What happens when the toilet gets clogged? It comes up. Okay? So if we don't have the exit route clean, the poop comes up. Alright? And it's going to recirculate. And then we feel very bad. Okay? We feel crappy. Alright? So there's a lot to this. Okay? But eventually, that has to be also done with the seasons. Our organs are tied to the seasons. We cannot detox certain organs. Why everybody gets mucousy and sniffy during winter? It's not a coincidence. It's not the weather. Don't blame Mother Nature. Okay? It's the time to heal your lungs. And your lungs are full of mucus. The mucus building foods. Okay? And that's what's happening. So when we have all that, Mother Nature is telling us, go. Okay? And let go of all the mucus. Mucus is a big deal. I can spend a whole day talking about it. Okay? But there's two things to it. One is the level of acidity of the foods that we eat, cooked, regardless if vegan or not. But of course, the more animal products we add to them, the more acidic they become. If you put a cooked bean compared to, cooked meat, it will be much more acidic. Okay? So the mucus comes as a protector so our tissue doesn't burn. Okay? And the other ones that are very mucousy themselves, like rice and beans. Have you eaten rice paper to make a roll? It's like a goo, right? So that itself is mucus. as an earth discharges. So when we get into detoxing the body into this different lifestyle, something else happens. We started with the emotional aspect, but if we feed the foods correctly, all of a sudden they will have this power to start pushing and promoting the mental and emotional as well. Okay? This is more of a, doesn't have to be an esoteric idea. Okay? Nowadays we understand fiber optics, we understand that light can carry messages, and we have the sun, we have the earth, and all things. We have these fruits and vegetables, they have their message for us. Okay? This is something very powerful, and I think probably my favorite topic here. Okay, when we go into YouTube, into Instagram, into Facebook, and we see those people eating, you know, a bunch of bananas and a bunch of fruits, and they're working out and taking pictures of, you know, their bodies and yada yada. We think that it's a new fad, and then all these other doctors come to say that it's, you know, not good for you to eat so much sugar and yada yada, and we think that it's a new thing. Is a new fad, something somebody just came up with, okay? Something that is, you know, out of the blue, this crazy hippie, you know, just put it out there, okay? Now, I don't know how many of you can see this because the screen is not that high up, but there was a gentleman back in the 20s. He was one of the first yogis to come into this country. He landed in California. His name was Paramahansa Yogananda.
Of course, you let me have
he
it
was not
free.
just a regular guru, a regular, you know, guy. He was a guy that when he landed to this country, he got invited by the president to go to the White House. Okay, he will throw out, you know, events at the ambassador of India. Okay, he was not like a regular, you know, Joe. Okay, he was like one of the highest level spiritual teachers that this world ever seen. All right, and this is what he wrote on one of his books. Okay, it says, under the soul's rule. So when we allow our soul to rule, not our ego, when overcome our ego, okay, Prince right eating governs. Why Prince right eating? Remember, I know how many of you are Christian here. Our Father prayer. Okay, so thy your kingdom come. So this the divine Father kingdom. If we get out of our ego, we step into being what? Princesses and princes, right? We are the children. That's the name of the children of a king, right? We're a prince and a princess. So, prince, right eating. You are claiming your divine space in your consciousness, okay? Governs the gustatory state, guided by natural attraction. What I was telling you yesterday, we don't have to force it. We don't have to try to educate it. We don't have to go through the yay and yay. We just get pulled by it. By natural attraction, he supplies the right foods possessing all necessary, my goodness, nutrients. Fresh fruits and vegetables with natural flavors. Okay? Fresh fruits and vegetables. Unaltered state. No cooked, no processed, no frozen, no trucks from Mexico or from another country. Okay? Fresh fruits and vegetables. Natural flavors, undestroyed vitamins. These natural foods nourish the body cells, helping to make them immune to disease. Okay? And aiding in preserving their youth and vitality. This guy was born in 1893. Okay? So if somebody tells me this is new, this guy was talking about this in 1920, a century ago. Okay? This guy didn't, you know, have YouTube. Okay? So this is not new. Okay? Neither new in the spiritual realm, neither new on the spectrum of science, neither new on the spectrum of spirituality. There's nothing new about it. Okay, it's us stepping into the space of wanting to do our own work, to claim, you know, our divine space. So this guy knew back then that just eating only raw fruits and vegetables will be the highest. Okay? So after people start eating this way, okay, I'll tell a personal story. After eating raw foods, only raw foods, okay, for about 3 months, we clean our body to a certain level, then we stop being numb. And numb meaning numb into our sensories, okay? And you're gonna start tasting. I had to buy ceramic knives. I don't know how many of you know about ceramic knives, but if you become less numb, because we're purifying ourselves, you can taste a dish or a raw food that is being cut with a metal knife or not. You will feel the taste in your tongue of that metal. Okay? So we all of a sudden start wanting higher standard foods. We will notice that the organic food that we're buying, either at Whole Foods or Sprouts or any other place, they don't have the quality that it should have. They don't have the nutrients that it should have. In the other presentation that I used to do, I have a chart of the amount of minerals that the conventional and organic, have. Spinach, broccoli, yada yada. And some of them are 100 to 1, some of them are 1,000 to 1, some is 10,000 to 1. So we start thinking about, okay, this one, banana, this one tomato, you also need to eat about 1,000 of them to get the same amount of minerals. Okay? So we got into growing our own food. These are agroforestry systems. Agroforestry means that you are mimicking nature and you combine the forest, which is divine creation, and it knows what to do. Nobody fertilizes the forest. Nobody irrigates it. Nature does. Nature brings forth, rain. Okay? That is a way that is being done already. It provides the highest quality, and is how nature has done it. So when we mimic those systems or those processes, that's how we can bring up again that quality that we will learn. Okay? Well, we can do anything. We can mimic those spaces into raised beds or in a whole farm. Okay? It doesn't matter the space. It can be done. And finally, we start accepting a little more of nature. You see people, they want to live a little closer to nature. You're going to see that these people, they go through this process with us to start actually, we talk a lot about, veganism here and animal activism. And you will see that people that eat this way are way more activists into preserving nature and all that. We start opening our hearts to be, nature is less scary all of a sudden, right? And more inviting. This is something that if you guys want to think it'll be cool for you guys to take home, okay? Something, a little nibble, okay? A little nibble. I really like this picture that I found because it puts this beautiful tree with all the different fruits. And we don't think of them, how they affect our emotions, okay? You see, it says generosity and kindness. If you meet a person that is only on a fruit diet, you will see there eventually they become the kindest person you ever seen in your life, okay? For many reasons. The same way that we drink a chamomile tea and we feel chill, right? Or we drink a coffee, we're all accelerated. Fruits that have something that affects, okay? And the energy of a mango is completely different than the energy of a watermelon, okay? So try this. Go home one day and for breakfast, have what we call a mono meal. Mono meal means one item only, okay? And that morning, have maybe just oranges and see how you feel. Okay? Really connect to yourself. Don't do it in a day you have to rush to work or something. Do it in a Saturday, do it in a Sunday, do it in a day you don't have to work. Just go and pick one fruit, whatever you like. Pears. Eat a handful of pears. And see how you feel. Be your own laboratory. Don't take my word. Okay? Be your own scientist. Don't think that I'm trying. Remember, I started with this. I don't want to indoctrinate anybody. I don't want to tell what is better. Okay? I just want to give you the tips. Try this, see how you feel. And then we can have a conversation. Without that, we're just doing yay and yay with information. But then we don't have experience to back it up. Alright? We just have our mind that projects the rejection or the acceptance of it. Alright? I think that's it for today. Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Woo.
I hope that was not too daunting. We have a booth by the bouncy areas where our tables are. Please stop by, come say hello, and yeah, it'll be great to see you and chit
All
chat.
right, big round of applause for Emanuel. Hope everyone's having a great day. I know I am. I got some delicious vegan food.